Hey guys, it's Sim and this is Wrestling Unlimited. Let me adjust the camera here. It's a little too high. I've been working on a couple of different things, so the camera was all out of sorts. I was actually trying something new earlier that I don't think is going to work out. There we go. There we go. We're all good. For some reason, camera moved its. I don't know how. I don't know how it moved itself, but we're good to go. We're on. We're live. We're talking Smackdown because yes, it's Friday, and tonight we're talking WWE Smackdown. But also don't forget, once we're done talking Smackdown here, jump over to twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy, where we will be playing the brand new Jackbox Party Pack 9. There are, I want to say, 5 new games. Let's see, I can tell you right now. There are 4 new games and a new version of Fibbage. We know what Fibbage is, but there's 4 new games. We don't know what they are. And we'll be playing those tonight live right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. But guess what? You guys can play with us. All you need is a browser, whether that's on your computer or your mobile device, maybe your tablet or something. Go to jackbox.tv, and while you're watching the stream, you can play with us, and you don't even have to own the game. I own the game. That means you guys can play with. But with that, we got Smackdown to talk about. Before that, I want to say thank you for joining us here if you're watching live. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited. Also, remember that if you are watching live, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, or at least access to somebody's Amazon Prime account, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and they always give you 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. But also, I want to thank you if you're watching or listening later, whether that's youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited or podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on YouTube, or if you're just watching later, you can't watch live on YouTube. Remember, if you're watching later on YouTube, you can help us out by becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get early access to news, early access podcast episodes, early access to non-news videos, and so much more. Plus, finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming one of the free games or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, Fall Guys, or Rumbleverse, use our code PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us with no extra cost to you. If you're already buying something or claiming one of the free games, put in the code, and we get support. So with that, head over there. Help us out, whether that is on your computer through the Epic Game Store or through the launchers of Fortnite, Rocket League, and Rumbleverse on your PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo Switch. Rumbleverse not on Nintendo Switch, though. So use our code PW Unlimited for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. As far as Smackdown does go, no, Magma Lord. I didn't catch the I saw the QR code, but it went so quick that I didn't catch it, and I was a little busy with other things while watching Smackdown, so I didn't go on Twitter and see if anybody else did, because I use all the apps, like the Fox Sports Live app, so I can't rewind. So I don't know. It's for you said it's for a psychiatric evaluation, the QR code? Huh. I mean, we'll talk about that segment with the mask and Uncle Howdy, who's probably Vincent, here shortly. But as far as the show itself does go, SmackDown kicked off as Michael Cole and Wade Barrett ran down the lineup. Bray Wyatt's symbol flashed on the screen with a series of images. And then had our first match of the night with Solo Sikoa against Sheamus. Match went just about 13 minutes. And boy, was this a physical match. I loved the crap out of it. So they worked hard and beat the hell out of each other. Sikoa briefly took over early with some chops, but Sheamus fired back with a clothesline. Sheamus blocked a hip toss attempt and rocked Sikoa with another clothesline. Sikoa recovered with a spinning wheel kick. He then blocked the 10 beats of the Bowdrin and sent Sheamus to the floor. Sikoa continued his onslaught with the Umaga splash against the ring steps, targeting the shoulder of Sheamus. Back from a commercial break, Sikoa hit a second Umaga splash, but this time in the ring. He went for the move a third time, but Sheamus responded with a clothesline. Yet, he used the injured arm. He, I guess you could say, didn't get all of it. Sheamus then hit the white noise and got a near fall off of it. He climbed to the top, but Sikoa cut him off. Sikoa hit a second rope Samoan drop for a close 2. Sheamus accidentally landed on the injured shoulder, which looked like it kind of hurt. Sikoa went for the spinning solo, but Sheamus broke free. He responded with a one-arm tilt-a-whirl slam and 10 beats of the Bowdrin. Sheamus avoided a super kick attempt and hit a knee for a 2. Sami Zayn would then jump up on the apron, and this would set up a wild brawl at ringside. The Usos would go on to trap Butch and Ridge Holland under the commentary table. They basically took them out. They were knocked out. They put the table on top of them, and then they were just gone dead forever from after that. Sheamus then took out the Usos with a flying crossbody to the floor. The finish of the match then came when Sikoa cut Sheamus off as he re-entered the ring. He finished off Sheamus with a spinning solo and pinned him 1, 2, 3. Good, hard, physical match. Then after the match, the Bloodline jumped Sheamus and targeted his arm. Jimmy trapped Sheamus' arm in a chair on the steel steps, and Jay destroyed the arm with a second chair. Eventually, though, after 3 or 4 shots with the chair, Sami stopped the attack. The Bloodline then posed over the fallen Sheamus. So this is an interesting opening match in the segment. They're basically telling us, I believe, oh, after Logan Paul, Sheamus is next for Roman. At least that's how I see it. That Sheamus could be next for Roman Reigns. And they're basically telling us with all the stuff they're doing tonight. As they move forward, there's a video package recapping Rey Mysterio switching to Smackdown, trying to retire, and so forth. Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser approached Rey Mysterio earlier in the back. They mocked Mysterio for not being a threat to Gunther. Mysterio didn't appreciate the disrespect and challenged one of them to a match tonight. So we ended up learning that Rey will be taking on Ludwig, or did take on Ludwig Kaiser. I don't. You said you sent me an image, Magma Lord. Oh, I see what you got. Okay. Gotcha. I'll keep that up. We'll talk about that when we get to it, and I'll evaluate it and whatnot. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. In the back, Bray Wyatt noted that he got interrupted last week, but we'll finish his promo now. His new entrance music played in the background. The promo was about Wyatt making confessions. He confessed that he's been angry and wanted the people to stop calling him names. He admitted that he was happy that they didn't stop. He appeared to address someone specifically and said he knew what they were doing and it's not going to work. He won't apologize for things he's about to do. So I don't know what that means, but cool. Sounds interesting. Very interesting. So in the locker room, Zayn and the Usos celebrated Solo Sikoa's win and basically beating up Sheamus afterwards. Yet the entire time, Solo's like taking off his wrist tape and he's sitting in the chair. He's got the Usos and Sami here, and Solo's sitting in the chair, and he just looks so dejected and so upset and so sad, like he's gonna cry for some reason. I don't understand what's going on here with Solo. But they start making fun of Sheamus because they're like, oh yeah, Sheamus ain't got one arm. He can't do this. He can't do the handshake. Yo. You know. And Zayn felt that they had accomplished their mission and could take the rest of the night off. But Jay said, no. Logan Paul's still coming. Zayn then said, hey, Jay, Roman said, leave him alone. Don't interfere with anything he's going to do tonight. Jimmy goes, what he said. I have to agree with Sami. Just leave it be. Jay then implied, I ain't going to do really anything. Jake Paul. Or Logan Paul, I mean. Logan Paul. So, yeah. Jay, I guess you could say, defied Roman later. Got a video package recapping Liv Morgan attacking Sonya Deville last week. Orange Cassidy has retained the All-Atlantic Championship against Roosh and 10. Even though this match being a title match and the reason it's a title match made absolutely no sense. I'm not even going to get into that bullshit. Half of this show has made no sense, which is why I'm happy I'm not reviewing it, because I had it on while I was setting up the live stream and stuff for Smackdown here. But this Rampage makes absolutely no sense. Okay, hold on. On a tangent really fast. How is Jade going to say, I'm going to hold up your show for 60 minutes if I don't get my title back on Friday, yet not come out till the 30-minute mark of the show, say, I'm going to sit here till I get my belt, Nyla say, I'm leaving with your belt, Jade then send her girls to go get the belt, say, and I ain't going nowhere, and then leave. Like a minute later. We had a 20-minute period of this show devoted to Jade Cargill, whether that was the Layla Gray, Willow Nightingale match, or the segment after. 20 minutes. And it was all for nothing. Nothing. This fucking show sucked. Anyways, back to SmackDown that didn't suck. There's a video package recapping Liv Morgan attacking Sonya Deville last week. Wait, what is going on here? Hold on one second, guys. Oh, okay, I see what that is. Never mind. The Rampage is over. Anywho. This then set up last week for tonight. Liv Morgan versus Sonya Deville. Match ends in a double countout and goes almost 9 minutes. Morgan and Deville didn't seem to click at all and actually didn't have a good early portion of this match. It was just a struggle for them to stay on track. It did pick up towards the 6-minute mark, which is close to the end. And then ended on a weak countout. The match was not good. This was no bueno. And then the post-match was messed up as well. So there's really no need to recap the match itself because it was 8 minutes and nothing good happened. It even went through a commercial. But after the match, after the double count out, Liv takes out Sonya. She starts grabbing chairs. She gets one chair from under the ring. She goes to look for more chairs and there's no chairs. She's looking, I think she gets maybe a second chair from under the ring. She's still looking for chairs. So she grabs chairs in the ringside area. She throws them in the ring. She's got half a dozen chairs. She throws Sonya in the ring. She puts Sonya on the middle rope, and she does a superplex from the middle rope onto the chairs while she's looking all crazy and psycho Harley Quinn. We just saw a chair spot in the first match. Then we get chair spot in this match too. Come on, producers. What are we doing? Come on. Who's what's what I'm looking for? Who's formatting this show? If you're going to have chair spot in both matches, then these two things don't need to go back to back at all. This wasn't even all that good. Liv also falls onto the chairs and no-sells it. Sonya's just dead laying there are we done yet? That's how I felt. She didn't even really sell it. She took the superplex onto the chairs and just laid there am I done yet? We got a Viking Raiders vignette. More hype for them. And the former Sarah Logan, again in the video. We then had a face-to-face. It's Braun Strowman and Omos. And oh my God, Braun Strowman actually looks small compared to somebody. Braun actually had to look up at Omos. Full stop, no joke. Anyways. We kept this short, and the physicality was barely there, which I liked. Strowman wanted to waste no time and called out Omos, but out would come MVP instead by himself. He's like, hey, why are you saying that we've been talking down to you? I've only ever praised you. The biggest, or one of the biggest and the strongest. He's like, well, last week, finally got to meet my boy, the giant Omos. He told Strowman to avoid Omos because it'll expose that he's the smaller monster. He might be the monster, but Omos is the giant. Strowman then said, you want to see who's better? Let's have a match. Let's have a match. Crown Jewel. Strowman then goes, and I see you've come alone. Omos couldn't even come here with you this week. And MVP goes, I didn't come alone. And he points, and out comes Omos. Omos makes his way down to the ring. The two the camera not gonna come back on. There we go. Now I need to go reformat the settings really fast. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Let's do that. Bada bing, bada boom. We're good to go. Yep, we're good. Still need to get the lighting here in this new room right, because like the way the lighting is for some reason, and like my skin tone doesn't want to sit right. Hold on, I'm gonna try something. There we go. Skin tone a little better. Still not great. For some reason I'm looking a little orange. Anyways, we're good. We're live. We never lost anything. I say Drew caused the car accident. Also, on your guys' end, let me know if my camera just looks a little too bright. There we go. I think we're better now. No, my camera froze up. I was like, what happened? My camera froze up and I had to reset it. That was all. We never lost the stream, though. Caleb Braxton would interview Drew McIntyre backstage. He admitted that there were repercussions for his actions. He noted that they all agreed that the feud needed to end. And he's challenging Cross to a steel cage match at Crown Jewel. Then we see Logan Paul show up in an SUV. To then go on to have the women's tag team title match. Damage Control. Io Sky, and Dakota Kai defending against Raquel Rodriguez and Shotzi. Now, the match itself had some moments of wasn't all that great, but in my opinion, may have been one of the best, if not the best, women's tag team title match we've had in WWE, even though there were a couple rough spots in this match. Early on, the heels had the advantage. They worked over Rodriguez. Shotzi hit a running senton into the corner on Dakota to take over. He followed this up with a dive off Rodriguez's shoulders. Rodriguez then Rodriguez and Shotzi then hit a Doomsday Missile drop kick for a close near fall. Kai then lured Shotzi over to the other side of the ring, and Io Sky caught her with a springboard missile drop kick. After a commercial break, Shotzi fought back and tossed Kai to the ringside. Rodriguez then got a hot tag and ran wild. After hitting a follow-away slam, Rodriguez went for the Vader bomb, but Sky cut her off. Kai tried a power bomb on Rodriguez, but Shotzi made the save. Sky then caught Rodriguez with a tornado DDT and got a near fall off of it. The faces briefly took over and hit an assisted sliced bread for a 2. Rodriguez tried to give Kai a power bomb, but they fell out of the ring. Back in the ring, Sky took over, hit what looked like a white noise onto Shotzi, then the moonsault on the top rope, or off the top rope, and picked up the pinfall victory successfully, retaining the belt. So there we go. Shotzi, Kel, they couldn't get it done. They just couldn't quite get it done. Okay, the Braxton's in the back with Ronda Rousey. Rousey was a total heel and said that she was issuing an open challenge tonight, but then said, never mind, I'm not, because that's what the fans want. I don't do what the fans want. I do things on my time. So I'll be back next week. I'm not defending my title in Ohio. Rousey also said that she didn't care about the fans and that she beat Liv Morgan for the title, despite the fans not wanting that to happen. She added that the fans won't want the best person to win, only who they, quote, like. The fans want their favorites to win. And Rousey said, I'm not their favorite, and I don't care. And I'm going to defend my title next week. They said, what about who the fans think could be the open... No, Caleb said something about, well, what about who the fans think could be the challenger for your open challenge? She's like, I don't care. I just want out of Ohio. They got a mysterious Bray Wyatt video that aired, and this is where we got the, I guess, the QR code and this image here that Magma Lord has sent me. So let's throw this up on the screen. Let's see, because I haven't looked at this yet. I do again want to thank Magma Lord for sending this over. All right, so this image here. See how much it'll let me zoom in on, or it won't. So we're going to switch things up for a second. I'm going to save the image and reopen it differently, not just on Twitter. All right, so let's do this. Let's then open it here. This way I can actually zoom in on it. All right, that should work now. There we go. So it says Wyatt Bray, May 23, 1987, date of birth. Client ID 855-211-1333. Psychological psychiatric evaluation. A lot of this is blacked out. Don't know why. It says I authorize to release the following information regarding my condition to the Department of Social and Health Services, DSHS. It says authorize. The authorization was obtained by a separate release of information consent form. They blocked that out. Then says client's signature. Refused to sign. No date. Psychological history. Difficulty showing remorse or empathy. Conflict with social norms. This other. Disregarding or violating the rights of others. And that's about it. A lot of stuff blacked out. 2 different ways, too, which is very weird. Some of it looks like it's taped out with, like, I don't know, some black tape. Others look like they, like, digitally blocked it out on a computer, like Photoshop or something. So, not really anything here that I would say is noteworthy, I guess. It's whatever. I guess it shows that Bray either was in some sort of a psychiatric hospital, some insane asylum, or just went and saw a shrink like Alexa. That's all I took from it. Close that. All righty. In the locker room, Legado del Fantasma discussed becoming an empire. Santos Escobar and Zelina Vega bragged about being the best on SmackDown. Their legacy begins by ending Hit Row. In another part of the arena, Hit Row was watching their promo on a monitor. He pointed out that Legado del Fantasma does have the numbers advantage, but they're not as good as them. BFAB then says, they may think they got the advantage. Don't worry, I'll take care of this. We learned that next week's a 6-man tag team match and that she is going to get them a third partner. So who that going to be? I don't know. Yes, Magnum Lore, but I doubt that has anything to do with any of this. I doubt they play that up or anything. As far as who can team with Hit Row, I'd say maybe Carmelo Hayes. That would be a good fit. Then we had an 11.5-minute match. It was Rey Mysterio versus Ludwig Kaiser, and I'd say this is the best match of the night. Best match of the night for sure. These two actually worked so good together. Like, wow. My expectations were here. They did that. So Colin Barrett pushed that Mysterio can forget about his problems with Dominic and concentrate on his match because, well, he's on Smackdown now. Mysterio said Mysterio had the early advantage and sent Kaiser to ringside, where both Gunther and Giovanni Vinci were. After a brief distraction from Imperium, Mysterio went for a sliding splash dive. Kaiser moved. Mysterio rolled through it, stood up, turned around, and boom, was knocked out with an uppercut. We go to commercial break. Coming back from said break, though, Kaiser was firmly in control, attempting a superplex. Mysterio knocked Kaiser down and hit a senton. Mysterio fired up and hit a springboard crossbody off the middle rope. Kaiser tried fighting back, but Mysterio nailed him with a kick to the head. He followed this up with a middle rope moonsault. Got a near fall off of it. Mysterio then hit 10 punches in the corner and paid tribute to Eddie Guerrero. Fans broke out into a loud Eddie chant. After a series of headbutts, Mysterio hit a top rope Hurricane Rana for a near fall. Mysterio sent Kaiser to the ringside area and missed a massive dive off the apron. At ringside, Imperium approached Mysterio. He grabbed a chair and tossed it at Gunther. Gunther punched it away, though. Mysterio then pretended he got hit. The referee assumed Gunther attacked Mysterio, though, because he did the whole thing where he took the chair, threw it at Gunther. Gunther smacked it down. You hear a coon. Ray then falls. The old Eddie spot. And the ref's like, you hit him with a chair. You hit him with a... Out of here. Mysterio then went for a splash, but Kaiser got his knees up. He then used a inside cradle and got a 2 off of it. Mysterio recovered, hit a 619, finished off the splash, and pinned Ludwig Kaiser to pick up the victory. I thought this match was so good. This match rocked. We then get our final segment of the night. It's the Logan Paul segment. I'm going to say it right now. Never been a fan of Logan Paul. Never been a fan of his brother Jake Paul. Never really watched their YouTube videos. I'd have friends send me their videos, go, this is kind of funny, check this out. Or, hey, this is a cool video concept, check this out. Or, hey, look at this, whatever. I've never been really a fan of the guys. Yet, I'm going to say it right now, Logan Paul is good at this. Logan Paul is really, really, really good at this pro wrestling thing. Paul got a really good promo about needing one lucky shot to beat Roman Reigns. He's like, Roman can do all he wants in the match, but if I can just catch him with that one right hit, go down. He then knocked out. Here we go. I skipped ahead by accident. Logan said he's happy to be back in Ohio. That's where he's from. He knows he's supposed to address the hard cam, but he talked to the crowd first. He promised to prove everyone wrong at Crown Jewel and noted he just needs, like I said, one lucky shot. Suddenly, as he's talking, the crowd starts to erupt, and Jey Uso would jump him from behind. I forgot to mention here, that he started running down the bloodline. He's like, I don't need a goofy-looking Paul Heyman-style guy to talk for me. I don't need a guy that calls himself Solo that I've never seen by himself with me. I come here by myself. I can do this by myself. Jey Uso jumps him from behind. He beat down Paul until Sami Zayn would run down to stop him. Sami tried to get Jey to leave and noted that the order came from Roman. Jey would ignore Sami and continue attacking Paul. Paul moved out of the way at one point and knocked him out with that one good right hand. Michael Cole noted that Paul caught Jey with the lucky shot. The shot that he can catch Roman with. Zayn was then stunned and checked on Jay as Logan Paul walked back up the ramp to the back as the show went off the air. Good segment. Very effective. And now we're slowly getting the... What's the word I'm looking for? Oh, Jay really doesn't want to listen, even though Roman said. I don't know what that's going to lead to, but Roman will be on the show next week. Also, programming note, next week's SmackDown will be on FS1, not on Fox. But with it being on FS1, you could still watch it if you need to on the Fox Sports Live app or website. Also, Howard Bubba says, hey, Tim, you never. I never what? Never what? So we'll see what Roman does to Jay. I know they're going to address it. He's like, Jay, I told you not to touch him. I told you leave him alone. Now you're going to go do this? What the hell? I don't know. I don't know what Roman's going to say. But regardless, good episode of SmackDown. I really enjoyed it. And again, next week's SmackDown will be on FS1. And no, never been a fan of Logan Paul. I've seen his videos in the over the years, but I've never been like, oh man, I need to watch more of this. No. Don't listen to his podcast. None of that. I got friends that do, but I don't. Also next week, not only is Roman Reigns returning, Ronda Rousey will be doing her open challenge, and Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa will be taking on the team of Butch and Ridge Holland, and plus, as we stated earlier, Hit Row and a mystery partner against Legado del Fantasma. But with that, guys, that's everything we got about Friday night SmackDown. Remember, if you want to be part of the show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. Again, that's 510-906-1341. But before we get into all of that, we've got to check the polls. Why are my links not coming up? There we go. Thank you, Chrome. As far as the Twitch poll does go, 91% liked tonight's Friday Night SmackDown. 9% did not. Moving over to the let's see. Moving over to the Twitch poll. Give me 1 second. I gotta respond to a message. All right, Twitch poll. 64% liked the show. 25% thought it was just all right, and 10% did not like it. I already ran down the Twitter poll, Hot Rod Bubba. Open ears, bruh. And finally, the YouTube poll. YouTube poll states. Already said that since Saturday. 80% liked SmackDown. 16% thought it was just all right, and 4% didn't like the show. As far as some of the comments, person said, good show, 8 out of 10. The person says, I like it. Logan Paul, knock out one punch on Jay. What's going on, Bangs? You gonna join us later for some Jackbox? New Jackbox just came out yesterday. We're gonna stream it later. Twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. I'll say it again in a minute. This person said, weak, worst show of the week. You didn't watch Rampage. Oh, you didn't watch Rampage then. And finally, the text messages. First text message here states, with day one canceled, will WWE pay-per-view take place in December? So I don't know if a main roster pay-per-view will, but NXT will. NXT will have a show called NXT Deadline on Saturday, December 10th. So I don't know if there's going to be a main roster pay-per-view between Survivor Series and Royal Rumble, but we'll have to wait and see. Person says, did The Undertaker ever get that trainer role at the Performance Center? Undertaker never was to get a trainer role. I think he's once gone down there and like guest coached, gave some advice on what he watched. Undertaker was never slated to, never supposed to, never wanted to, as far as my knowledge is, have a trainer role at the PC. He ain't moving from Texas full-time to Florida. What the you talking about? Like, what the what? Says, you think we see the Brawling Brutes versus Bloodline in Survivor Series and War Games? Very much so. You've got Sheamus, Ridge, Butchie. You've got, there's 3. Then you've got, if you really want to go this far, Roman, Sammy, Uso, Solo. That's 5. How do you do that? How do you do 3 on 5? I could see it, but then it's like, okay, no Raw people at all. So maybe SmackDown gets the men's and Raw gets the women's. Damage Control versus Bayley and her group, and maybe like or Bianca and her group. I don't know. Still a weird one. Versus says, I saw people think Jeff Jarrett is Uncle Howdy. Wow, really? I didn't see that at all. And if anybody did tweet that, then they're the dumbest mofos in the world. No, I'm pretty sure it's Vincent. Versus says also, who do you think is Liv Morgan becoming Sister Abigail? I don't know. But I mean, well, actually, I could say no. Because did Alexa Bliss ever become Sister Abigail? No, she was just Alexa Bliss creepy. Dark. Demented. But with that, guys, that's everything we got for tonight's Friday Night Smackdown. What the what? Someone sent me something about Bray Wyatt. I think it was missed from the... Oh, I already saw that. Yeah, that's nothing for me. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. Or if you're watching or listening later, whether that's YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited or podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Now, in the next 30 to 45 minutes, I will be live at the most top of the hour. I will be live, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. We're going to be playing some Jackbox Party Pack 9. We got a new version of Fibbage and 4 other games that I don't even know what they are, but I'm hearing good things about all of them. So with that, guys, have a great night, and I will see you later. See you soon. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. Have a good one, guys.